Welcome to Mainstream Moto. I'm Mike. Today I'm going to be going over some of my camping gear for an upcoming trip. This is an all-highway trip, and so I haven't really downsized for this. This isn't a minimalist setup. I'm going to show you what I'm going to take. All of it is right here. So first I'm just going to do a real quick overview of everything I have, and then I'll get more in detail to get into a little bit more detailed with the items that require a little more explanation. Alright, so the very first thing is I take a knee pad like this. I put this on my back seat so that when I strap this down, it doesn't damage the seat over time. I think I'll use this. There we go. So this is a waterproof backpack, and I take it with me just for sightseeing or whatever. But in here, I have a tarp, my tent, and another smaller tarp. And that's all held down with this cargo net. Sleeping bag. This is basically all my paperwork. My camera bag for all my video stuff. Extra clear lens for my helmet in case I end up riding in the dark. Chain lube in a Ziploc bag. Balaclava. And an emergency road light. This is my camp chair. This is my air mattress. Junk bag. I'll get into what's there later on. Camp towel. Got a beanie with my Jetboil inside. This is a French press and cup in one. Put that inside a neck warmer. A lantern. Bug spray. I might have to use that in a minute. Got a headlamp, of course. Got a water jug, cutting board, a couple little utensils for cooking, and a gear pod with some other cooking supplies in there. And these are doggy bags. And in this case, I've got some aluminum foil. I'm not going to take this much. I just threw it in here so I had it. I'll take about 10 feet or so. That's a toolkit. There's another gear tube. I have all my coffee stuff in this one. This is my Microstart. Some cooking utensils and an extra pot in there. Some garbage bags. A foldable bucket. My bathroom bag here. First aid kit. My laundry bag for dirty clothes. Some sunglasses and a short piece of rope. And then I'll shove my sleeping stuff in there along with a pillowcase. Just kind of hold everything together because that doesn't fill up this case. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a little bit more detail. I won't be getting into too much detail with stuff that really doesn't matter. And this is in no particular order. So here we've got the Moonlance chair. This one is basically just the knockoff of the Helix chairs. It's basically the same thing. I won't get into that too much. So far I'm very happy with it. Moonlance is the brand there. This is my Microstart here. I absolutely love this thing. You can jump your bike with it. You can charge your phone a few times. Comes with all kinds of extra cords and stuff. This is something I take on every trip. This is the Jetboil. I invested in the pan holder accessory. Keep everything in here. I keep a dishcloth in here. And then the bottom stand. This is awesome if all you need is boiling water. I also take an extra little bit of cookware. And this is absolutely nothing fancy. So this is just a regular old pot. It's got a lid. And another small pan that doesn't take up any more space. I put a towel in first. And inside there I have a cleaning sponge, some soap, fork, pan holder so I can grab this, a couple lighters and a can opener. This is my bathroom bag or toiletries, whichever one you want to call it. I wrap everything in a Ziploc bag, so I got deodorant, sunblock, soap, shaving cream. I put the Q-tips and flossers with toothpicks in there, wet wipes, toothbrush, and toothpaste. And I also have some tweezers in here for firewood splinters or whatever. This is a Coleman air mattress, a Slim Twin is what it's called. And it's pretty tough. I've been using this for years, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's definitely not a lightweight item. It's kind of heavy and it's kind of bulky. but it's comfortable. I don't remember how much it is, but compared to a fancy air mattress, this is pretty cheap. Okay, so this is what I call the junk bag. This just has all kinds of odds and ends and things. Okay, so in the junk bag here, I have a small little camp saw, some rope, a utility knife, a couple random carabiners, some extra lighters. This is a patch kit for air mattresses. Small flashlight with electrical tape and 2 rolls of 1-inch Gorilla tape. Just some smaller trash bags here. This is just kind of a neat little clip. You can use this for strapping around a tree or something. Comes in useful sometimes. Carry 4 tarp clips. These just hook onto the edge of your tarp so you can stretch things out. Here's some JB Weld in there. I've got super glue as well as Gorilla Glue. The reason why I take Gorilla Glue is because you can bond 2 wet surfaces together. So if you can't get a dry surface for super glue or something, you can use Gorilla Glue. Sharpie, little Leatherman tool, an S-hook for hanging my lantern in my tent, a few zip ties. I think that's another patch for an air mattress. These are just little twist ties, little metal kind. This is an adapter to blow up the mattress with the use of a garbage bag. And then I have a small screwdriver kit in here. Keep all your bits inside. This is for just repairing small electronics or something if you need to. And one thing that I need to put in here that I don't have in here is dielectric grease. I always take dielectric grease with me as well. I also have some mechanic heavy-duty rubber gloves. So that's it for the junk bag. Another thing is I don't pack these things super tight and super constructed. I'm able to just throw things in there and get it to about the size that I want. So the first gear tube here, the batteries in there. These have little fire starters in them. White ones and red ones. Those are homemade fire starters. I'll put a link in the description for those. These are the spices for cooking at camp. And it just so happens to fit right inside here, so that's kind of handy. Here is the medic kit. So inside this first one, this just has an assortment of band-aids, some tweezers, clippers, scissors. Nothing real fancy. This is just for taking care of cuts, especially if you got kids with you or something. It's nice to have band-aids and stuff. Here I have, this is just a tackle box from Walmart, and I have an assortment of different pain relievers. So I got Tylenol, ibuprofen, these are Benadryl, there's charcoal for stomach problems, and some Tums and Pepto. Those are Tums, that's Pepto. And then these are also acid reducers in here. These are some steri strips, mouth barrier for CPR. I don't know CPR, but maybe someone will be there that does. A little bit of hand sanitizer here. This is a thermometer, one-time use thermometer. You never know if you're just getting fatigued from riding or something. Sometimes you're sick and you don't know it. It's an emergency survival blanket, a couple towelettes, some antibiotic ointment, and bruise cream. I don't know how cream helps a bruise, but hey, you know what? I don't have to understand it. A couple finger splints. This is an Afterbite. It's just an anti-itch stick. Some other tweezers. Probably don't even need those in there, but they hardly weigh anything. This is sugar and soap. If you've never used a sugar and soap poultice, it'll pull out slivers. I had a sliver in my finger for 5 months, and it pulled it out enough to where I could finish getting it out. This is great for kids if they get a sliver and they don't want you digging around trying to get it out of there. You just put a little bit of sugar and soap on it, put a Band-Aid over it, leave it for 24 hours, and it'll dang near pull the thing right out by itself. Completely painless. So I take that with me in case even if there's a sliver that I get that I can't get out. So here's some antibiotic cream, sling bandage. Most of the stuff you probably won't need, but it's in here anyway. 2 things of gloves here. This is a wire splint right here. This is just a wrap, and then this is that other stuff. I forget what this is called, but it's just another wrap and some tape. This is eye wash in case you get something in your eye and you can't get it out. I bring 2 tourniquets because I have 2 tourniquets. And I've prepped these so that they're ready to go. I'm not going to open them for you, but I've prepped these so that they're ready to be used if needed. You have a very small window where these are actually useful. They could be bleeding too much or not enough to use these, but I would rather have these and not need them than need them and not have them. Here's a dressing pad. Here's an abdominal pad and another dressing pad. And that is it for there. And if you do make a medic kit, I had to kind of make this one because it wasn't one that I just bought. I had to put different things into it. But I bought this bag, I think from Walmart. Get a bag that's specific to a medical kit if you're going to do that, so that you don't have something in this bag. That way if you tell someone, go to my bike, there's a medical kit in wherever it is that you tell them, they're not looking for something like this, some homemade package. They're looking for an actual like red emergency preparedness, one with a big white cross on it or something, but make it recognizable. So in here, this is just one of those really bendy binders, and then inside I've got the plastic inserts that you can just put things in. That way if you look at this thing in the rain or whatever, it won't ruin all your stuff. And I keep everything in here: itinerary, reservation info, things I want to see around the area, information on those things, just research that I've done. I put it all in here. One year I had a ferry schedule in here so that we could ride on the ferries and things of that nature. I put all in one of these for every trip. This gear tube just has coffee fixings. I just have regular coffee, decaf coffee, and sweetened creamer, powdered creamer. And that's all that's in there. This is my video bag here. So here's my little GoPro is in this little bag. This is the micro SD card holder, so I can change out my SD cards to the cameras. Selfie stick, which I don't use very often, but I'm going to try to use it more. So this has my earbuds. There's a flash drive here. This is an adapter that plugs into your phone that the USB can plug into. And then my other phone takes a special one of those here. And then there's this adapter, which is a USB, but you can plug a micro SD card straight into the back of it. So if you want to review any footage or something, or if something happened and you gotta just plug it right straight into your phone and watch it, you can. My legs are going to sleep. These are all of the GoPro accessories and brackets. So any of these bigger things, it all goes in this bag. And then this one has all of the base mounts, so all the sticky mounts and stuff. And the adhesives, they're all in this smaller bag. There's nothing else in there. My tent, this is just a 2-man Kelty tent. This is an old tent, but I still use it. It still works good. I wrap a 5x7 tarp around it. I may upgrade because it's a little big and it's a little heavy, but it works and it's what I have. And this is my tarp. This is a big tarp. This is like a 10x12 tarp. And I know it's big, I know it's bulky, it's really not that heavy, but this thing has saved my butt and other people's butts enough to where I can't leave it at home. Even if I'm not expecting rain, I can still put this up for some shade or something, but I take it with me anyway. This is my toolkit. I'm going to switch to a video of going through it at home because I don't want to go through it out here because I don't want to lose sockets and things, and then we'll come back to this. Alright, so this is what I've got in there. This is an 8-inch crescent wrench, 3/8 ratchet, and some of this came with the stock toolkit. This is a 14 and a 17, but I put an extra 8mm wrench. Let's go over all the sockets here in a little bit. So here's an assortment of Allen keys. This one's cut off. This goes to the front forks. And these are also for taking off fairings, adjusting chains. Those are needed. This is the tool to adjust my suspension. This is essential for taking off the front axle. These two here are for the rear axle. This is the spark plug wrench. And I don't remember what size this end is, but it's a multi-tool piece that came with the original kit. Along with these, I believe that some of these, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these fit things like brake caliper nuts and stuff. And here are two more. Here's a 10 and an 8 that came with the kit, and a 10 and a 12 that came with the kit. As far as sockets go, there's a 17, a 9/16, which is the same as a 14. This one is a 14, a 12, 10, and 8. And then I also have a 1/4 inch inside here that goes with a whole bunch of different bits, and I'll show you what those are for. So I also threw in a 1/4 inch extension, a 3/8 extension, a shorter 1/4 inch, and then a shorter 3/8. I've got two of these sockets that have a universal joint on them. The technical term escapes me right now. So here's a 3/8 to a 1/4 adapter, a 3/8 to a 1/2 adapter, and a 1/2 to a 3/8 adapter. This one here is specifically for this, so that I can get that front axle out. And you'll notice that I do not have a screwdriver. I got rid of the screwdriver and I went with this. Instead, I put a 1/4 inch 1/4 drive socket in here. And what I will do with that, if I need a screwdriver, I'll just put it on the end of here. This works for very, very light things. If I need to add a little bit more, I'll use the adapter to go to the 3/8 ratchet. And I've got a screwdriver. I can put any one of these bits in the end of here, and I can use it. I can also put this 6mm Allen key in the end of that. I guess I wouldn't use the extension for that, but I can use that to do anything with the front forks if needed. Now, a lot of these parts do fit inside each other to kind of save some space, and I try to just hook things together so that they're just longer and they pack a little easier that way. I mean, obviously you can only get so carried away with it. And then when packing things inside here, I just try to use up small little areas, like where this didn't use up, I'll just throw a socket in the top up there. Throw a couple more tools. You can see there's an empty spot right over here. Throw that in there. And there it is. And I dang near forgot about this completely, but this is the stuff that's underneath my seat. So over here, this is just extra fuses right here, extra wire in case I need to bypass something. This is the socket for the front sprocket. Without this, you cannot take it off. This is just a tire repair kit. This is a chain riveting tool, and inside here I carry with me 2 master links for my chain. This is a small air compressor, just in case. And then I've got 3 tire spoons that are in there as well. So this is the GSI Outdoors French press and cup in one. This is a cool little gizmo. So I also keep a little rag in here, keeps things from moving around. So that's the cup, simple enough. And then the French press part goes just like that. And it works good, doesn't leave any grounds or anything in the coffee, so happy with that. And like I said before, I don't like these things having to fit together perfectly in order to put them away. I like to be able to just throw it all together and not worry about it. If you wrap things up too tight, then it's hard to get them that tight when you're putting it away every day. I just about forgot, I do take extra clothes. I'm not disgusting. All of that's going to go in my tank bag right here. This does expand. So all the clothes that I'll take, socks, underwear, all of that stuff, it's all going to go right in here. And to be honest with you, I don't know how much stuff I'm going to take in here. So that's where my extra clothes and stuff are going to go. So I'm pretty sure that that's everything. If I didn't go over something that you thought I should have gone over, you know, like I didn't go over these, I don't think I have to. But if there's something I didn't go over and you'd like more information about it, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get to that. So I'm going to do a time lapse of putting everything away because I've kind of got a mess here now. And that's it. Like I said, it is not a minimalist setup. It's not a lightweight setup. But for this trip, we're doing just basically highway. And so it'll work really well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that somebody found it useful. If you haven't seen my last video, you can check right here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next time.